Here's something interesting that happened during the Taliban press conference earlier this evening. The cameras were repeatedly turned towards women journalists who were attending the press conference. The focus clearly was on the Taliban's mistreatment of women. Not too long into the press conference, the Taliban spokesperson addressed the issue. He said women are being asked to stay at home because Talibs are supposedly not trained to deal with women. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but here's what does. The Taliban are affected by the roar of #SaveAfghanWomen. The terror group is now trying to save face after all the bad press. They want the world to believe that Afghan women will be able to return to work, they will get salaries and they'll be safe. None of it is certain though. It's all in the future, it's unreliable, and given the Taliban's oppressive past and record, as things stand now, they've forced women to go into hiding. It's hard to believe what they say. Afghan women are disappearing from public view. They're being turned away from their workplaces. They're being forced to quit their jobs. We've been telling you all of this, and guess what? Rights groups are not helping either. Reuters reports that some rights and aid organizations are removing pictures of female staff and beneficiaries from their websites. UN Women is one of these organizations. It was supposed to fight for Afghan women. It seems to be abandoning them. Mohammad Nasiri is the United Nations Women's Director for Asia and the Pacific. And he told Reuters that the removal of these photos was a precautionary move. Erasing women from public eye, we believe, will only bolster the Taliban's ideology. It will also erase 20 years of progress. Rights groups are supposed to know this. It seems they're taking the easy way out. Reuters reports that Oxfam too is removing content related to Afghan women. These are organizations supposed to be working towards ending injustice. At this point, they're only adding to it. The Taliban are assaulting women's rights, and the rights groups are failing to save them. So who will? Who will help the women of Afghanistan? Well, all of us can. Gravitas has been relentlessly campaigning to #SaveAfghanWomen, and we've been writing about it, talking about it every day, and we'll continue to do so till each of the 14 million Afghan women are safe in their homes, in their country. Right now, they're not. Let me tell you what is happening to the women of Afghanistan. The Taliban are burning them alive. Why? For supposedly cooking bad food. I'm not making this up, this is happening. A former judge from Afghanistan told the media that women are also being shipped into neighboring countries in coffins. Again, why? To be used as sex slaves. Young girls are being forced to marry the Taliban. Reports say women are being shot for not wearing a burqa. All of this is happening in 2021. And what, may I ask, is the world doing about it? Offering lip service, hoping for the Taliban to miraculously reform overnight. Here's an example.
A fundamental red line will be the Taliban's treatment of women and girls and respect for their rights to liberty, freedom of movement, education, self-expression and employment, guided by international human rights norms. In particular, ensuring access to quality secondary education for girls will be an essential indicator of commitment to human rights.
Speaking of indicators, the current indicators only point towards assault of women's rights. This is Zaria Ghaffari. She arrived in Germany from Afghanistan some 24 hours ago. She was forced to leave her country because if she did not, had she not, the Taliban would have killed her. Why? Because Zaria is a vocal advocate of women's rights. She became the mayor of an Afghan town at the young age of 26. The Taliban do not like women in government, even though they say that under them there will be women in government. Women achievers feel that they are in danger. This group of girls is aged 15 to 18. They were all born after the start of the 2001 Afghan war. These girls received an education, made some groundbreaking inventions like low-cost ventilators made of car parts, landmine detectors. They're all Afghan girls. And they had to flee their country to finish their education and to safeguard their future.
Came from Afghanistan. It was a miserable circumstance for us, and we left our family. I'm so sorry.
No, take your time.
And it was so hard for us because our family there and our country destroyed.
We really thought that we have to go because we didn't have any other choice, because serving our country is just by getting educated.
Can you imagine what their life is like? This is the reality of the Taliban. There is no place for women in the regime so far. There is no place for human rights. Here's what Afghanistan's deposed Vice President Amarullah Saleh posted earlier today. He says the Talibs are abducting children, using them as human shields. The Taliban can paint a rosy picture of the future. They can promise safety, they can promise equality for women, but that does not change the reality. Afghan women are being forced to flee their country. They're being forced to go into hiding in Afghanistan. How does the Taliban plan to save women from this terror? What are world leaders planning to do about it? What are rights groups doing to save Afghan women? No matter which part of the world you're watching us from tonight, you can make a difference. I say this every night and I'll say it again. Be the voice of the Afghan women. Tell their stories, share their pictures, their stories, force governments to act. Join the Gravitas campaign. Use the hashtag #SaveAfghanWomen. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.